How many of you guys have heard of the disorder called apotemnophilia? Probably not many. It's actually a disorder that is characterized by the strong desire of someone wanting their limb amputated, whether it's an arm or a leg. And usually those that suffer from that suffer from it greatly. It's a very strong desire. Sometimes after they go to doctors and surgeons, which doctors will not amputate a perfectly working limb, after they go and discuss it with doctors or surgeons, sometimes there's cases where people will attempt to amputate their arm or their leg on their own. So that brings me to the point of what this video is about today. It's about, just because somebody feels a certain way, should we support their feelings? Could their feelings be wrong? Somebody that struggles with apotemnophilia, should we support them in helping them amputate their arm or their leg? Well, no. They need mental health to align their minds with the reality that they have an arm or a leg that they need to get used to living with. It's a mental disorder. So that comes to the issue of transgenders. Transgendered people struggle with feeling like they were born in the wrong body. That's how they feel in their minds. And we've come to a place in society nowadays where we're supporting that mental disorder, because it is a mental disorder. It's in their minds. Their mind is not aligning with the reality of their sex that they were born with. So how do we get to a point in society where we're congratulating those that decide to make a change and live as the other sex? Like, how did we get to this point? The reality of it is they are the sex they were born. No matter what they change on the outside, biologically, they are still that sex that they were born, down to the chromosomes. So what makes no sense to me is, how are doctors nowadays thinking it's okay to amputate a perfectly working limb, a genital, on people that feel like they're transgendered, but they will not amputate a perfectly working limb on somebody that struggles with the other disorder? That just makes no sense to me, that they will amputate genitalia to align with somebody's mental disorder. It's insanity, and that's where reality is today. You know, nowadays you hear more and more stories in the news where parents are being congratulated and talked about what great progressive parents they are because they have a transgendered little boy or girl. Because Johnny at 5 years old wants to be Sally, so the parents doing everything in their power to help Johnny become Sally. But what kid at that age even understands the concept of gender? Or sex, for that matter? How many of us as kids thought about being the other sex, dressed as the other sex? I was the biggest tomboy in the world. I was the only girl out of 3 brothers. I was more boyish than they were. But if my parents came alongside me at that age and thought that meant I was transgendered and started encouraging me to be a boy and calling me by a different name, and I probably would have went along with it, just thinking like, well, maybe I am supposed to be another boy. But then when Johnny gets to an age when he realizes, no, I'm not Sally, and understands the concept of gender, he's even more screwed up because his parents screwed him up. Supporting a mental disorder does not change the mental disorder. Those that have sex changes, there's studies that have been done, do not even feel that much better after the sex change. They still have issues. It's like this bill in North Carolina, the bathroom bill. North Carolina is being vilified because they're not allowing a man to use a women's restroom. But that's reality, people. How did we get to a place where we're encouraging that? Oh, Johnny needs to be able to use Sally's bathroom just because he identifies by that sex. But where do we draw the line? He's not a female, so he shouldn't be allowed to use the female's bathroom. Why should we inconvenience the majority for a very, 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 very small minority? That makes no sense whatsoever. They can use the family bathroom or handicap bathrooms. Most places have it. But to inconvenience the majority for a very fraction of the minority is insanity. People, we need to come back to sanity.